Hey guys, thanks for checking in again at Ask a Guitar Pro. It's been a while. Today we are going to do a demo of the Barber Tone Press compressor pedal. Now what's a little different about this pedal is that it actually employs parallel compression in that you can split your signal, I guess you could say, and apply compression using a mix knob. Instead of having your whole signal compressed, you can take a compressed signal and add it back to the original, and this definitely changes the compression playing field a little bit because I guess it sounds arguably a little more natural versus having your whole signal compressed. So we're going to do a little demo of that pedal today, the Barber Tone Press. So anyways, I'm playing on a Fender Strat into a PV Classic 30. Here's what the guitar and amp sound like without the compressor on. Okay, before I play into the compressor, I just want to make a few points on the different controls. First of all, you have a volume control on the pedal which adjusts the overall level of the tone press. Then you've got a blend knob which adjusts the mix of the clean and the compressed tone. So that's the knob right there where you really get the bang for the buck for this pedal. Is the amount of mix in of that compressed signal back to the original signal. And then of course you've got a sustain knob as well, which not only adjusts the sustain, obvious, right? It also adjusts the level of squash, you could say, from the compressor. So I'm going to start off with the settings fairly neutral. I'm going to turn the volume, well, you can already see the volume's up at about 1 o'clock. That's fairly close to unity gain, so there's not going to be much of a difference in volume with the compressor clicked on and off. So I'm going to go ahead and play and click on the compressor and start playing through it. So right now the blend is about 9 o'clock. You're going to hear a little bit of compression added to the original signal. So of course, in order to get you a feel for really what this thing does, I'm going to turn the blend knob up a little bit at a time here to give you an idea. So of course now we have it about 11 o'clock. So right away when you're at 11 o'clock you can notice that the individual volume levels of the notes are starting to equal out here. You don't get the bitter highs as much or the bass sticking out as much. It's definitely starting to feel compressed. I'm going to turn up that blend knob even more. So now we're at about 1 o'clock. Now you're obviously starting to get the compressor pop too, which some people like that sound. All right, let's go to 3 o'clock. More compression going in, of course. course, now the volume levels of the bass and the higher notes are definitely equaled out, so you don't get as much of the differences in notes there, of course. And it does take away some picking dynamics, but it does give more a percussive tone at the same time. You can definitely hear that. Okay, so I'm gonna dime out the blend knob here so you can hear what it's like having the blend completely up. Okay, so blend knob is all the way up. Here's what you have. That's pretty heavily compressed, and you know, it's a matter of taste. Some guitarists like a lot of compression, some like something in the middle, and there's also guitarists who don't like to have their dynamics compromised to any degree where they don't like compression. But what I want to do with the blend knob all the way up is I also want to turn up the sustain so you can get a feel for what it sounds like when you turn the sustain and the blend knob all the way up. Okay, so we got sustain all the way up. Of course, you got a little strat hum going on here. So the sustain really can go on quite a while. I'm going to back down the sustain, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it on the gain channel for a minute here so you can hear what that sounds like with the compressor on as well. Obviously, you're going to hear some pretty good dynamics with the gain channel on. It's going to be a little noisy, so I'm going to kick on the noise suppressor. So here you go on the gain channel. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put it on the bridge, or the bridge pickup here. I was on the neck pickup before. So of course, if I really turn up that sustain knob, you'll be able to hear that really sustain for a long time there. And there is one other feature I wanted to mention on the Barber tone press here, is that there is another knob inside the tone press. It's called the color control. And this is just a trim pot that you can change the attitude of the pedal somewhat. When it comes from the factory, it's in what they call the full-on position, and it has a little more snap, and that's what you're hearing today. I have not adjusted it for the purposes of this demo, but if you set it at halfway or lower, the manufacturer basically indicates that this is going to give you more of a round, vintage quality sound of the pedal. So anyways, guys, the Barber tone press, definitely a lot of things you can do with it. If that's your cup of tea, it makes compression a lot easier to use, I can tell you that much. You don't have to have a master's degree in mixing to be able to do it. So anyways, the Barber tone press, parallel compression. We will catch you next time at Ask a Guitar Pro. I'm Jake. See you guys.